Clicker games, the games where you tap or click your way to win. Incredibly simple games where we can flex our ability of patience to level up, and our ability to fastly tap our smartphones or tablets without breaking them, or to play multiple games at once with different gadgets. As you heard them probably played, many can be as simple to tap or click to earn money, or any of the in-game currency to buy stuff, properties, or earn achievements. They can be incredibly addicting from the start. But there are times the game loses its spark, especially if you spent hours playing these types of games in a single day. Nevertheless, clicker games create many possibilities with creativity for gameplay that makes these kinds of games being distinct among each other while rooting back to common similarities to click your way to earn and win. Because of that, a lot of these games are usually played to kill the time and be addicting if you play them in a random basis. But with many clicker games having basic game mechanics, it can really be boring, especially there are times that when you get far in the game or get stuck in a level that seems forever to get through, it can really kill off the charm that it once had at the start. It gets boring, less addicting, and there's a less excitement as you get through. For some of us, our expectations lowers as we go on in the game, and it's hard to have any interest and invest into the game as time goes on, where clicker games eventually become display games or gets deleted to take back extra storage space. And that's why there are people who would not bother trying these games or playing these types of games again because of how it is seen as short-term investments due to the simple nature of many clicker games. And they also come from one of those people who thinks as such. But being desperate to be able to play new games, I just somehow stumbled upon this clicker game. The game was called Alter Ego. Back then, I was thinking on trying a visual novel type of game since it looked intriguing to me. Seeing pictures of the game, that's what first that came into thought. At first, I really thought that this would be a free visual novel type of mobile game. But right after the introduction, I was shocked that this would be more of a clicker game where I would have to tap to earn and move forward. But since I was desperate to play something decent, I was like alright of having a game like this. Since I never read the description regarding what the game was about, I was surprised that this was a psychological, self-discovery game that would explore literature and philosophies that would connect into my personality and of how my personality would affect the story of the game, which is surprisingly deep for a simple mobile clicker game. So I went on, got tired sometimes, and never gave up until I finished the game. By the time I finished, I learned a lot of myself that I didn't really mind and think about before. It also introduced literature that I didn't know or I didn't really fully understand. With the bittersweet experience that I had with the game and knowing that it has yet to reach peak popularity, I have decided to make this video and encourage you why you should play this game and how it can change clicker games. First is the concept of playing for self-discovery, which makes this clicker game uniquely special. I am no expert, I am no psychologist, so this is just my opinion, and also personal testimony. But I think this game can really help into at least knowing what the surface of what your personality exactly is, or at least parts of your personality, and of who you are and how you do and perceive things in which you will not realize at first. And it is the choices that you make in the questions given in the game will be the one that will decide the outcome slash the assessment of your personality. And I'm not describing it like the floor is made out of floor type of thing. It's that initially, I just thought that it would just be some kind of gimmick to attract players in playing the game. I thought that it would be quite difficult to assess a person through a game. I also do not think the assessments are very accurate, but still, this makes the game interesting as it keeps players invested into the game, which gives players an idea of what their personalities are through the assessments made, which is one of the key features of the game. I've also yet to hear or play any kind of game that discuss philosophy and psychology and make them the main focus of playing a game, which makes Alter Ego unique and rare. It also makes the player's efforts worthwhile, as they can really have something to expect and be excited about while they delve further into the game until they find the final piece of who they are. Second is that it has a developing story as you go on in the game. Alter Ego having a story was the one that closed the deal for me to keep on playing the game. It's even a shock that a clicker game would even have a story in the first place, as I have yet to hear a clicker game accompanied by having a story that can pique the interest of players. So it really is a fresh experience to have something like this in a clicker game, where it is usually the last game many people would expect to have any storyline of whatsoever. Talking about the story in-game, as one who has played the whole game too, it's worth the stay. Like the personality assessment of self-discovery that I mentioned earlier, This story also varies into the choices that you make with multiple endings, similar to a game like Undertale. In here, your personality will be the judge of the endings through the path that you will take in the game's storyline. To know those, it's up to you to either play or not. Third is that the game has a beautiful, calm, laid-back aesthetic in it. Playing the game, there are really times where I had to really tap and tap and tap again in order to finish it. It can get boring, but the aesthetic of the game can really just let you stay calm and just experience the beauty of it. The art in the game sometimes have an anime style in it, while some have the simple cartoony type of art style. Then there's the background music. I must say it's great for a game like this to even have as such. With the original soundtrack composed by Amiko, I may not be an expert in music, but all I can say is that it has a very calm, refreshing, laid-back tone to it. You definitely can just go and rest for a while, then turn on the game just for the sake of listening to the music. So that's definitely a plus. Fourth, with everything you can get in the game is basically for free. With the story, the OST, the art, the unique concepts introduced in the game, I'd say this game would go as much as $1 in order to play, even if it's just a clicker game. But then again, I doubt this game would boom as how it is now, so it's much better the way it is. Plus, there are in-game real-life purchases to support the developers. These would include extra content and removing ads. Still, you can continue to enjoy the experience of playing the entire game without doing any real-life purchases. Extra content, you would know by the time you finish the whole story. Removing ads? Ads are more of an option thing that you can use to boost the in-game currency you are earning, so they don't really kill out the gaming experience. So real-life purchases are still entirely our way to provide generosity into the hard work done by the developers. Having said the main reasons why you should play this game or encourage people to play this game, let us go into the other topic, into how this game can change how clicker games can be. Like I said early on in the video, many clicker games can be as simple where you click or tap your way to earn, level up, and win. Alter Ego is also like this. You would need to tap to earn, use the currency you earn to read books here in the game that will provide passive earning during the time you are out. But unlike many others where it would just stop as that with players tapping, earning, upgrading to provide more earnings, level up, and repeat, along with some of these kinds of clicker games only having few major differences, Alter Ego takes it into a new approach that breaks the boundaries of the expectations of the usual clicker games. Alter Ego provides new ideas for how developers can have creativity in making these kinds of games instead of just having players to mindlessly tap with nothing else to expect. And my first and second reasons of persuading you to play the game is an example of that. This clicker game provides insight for upcoming clicker games that can actually put a story in these while still retaining the simple clicker slash tapper gameplay. With putting a story, it can also provide new concepts that can be played in the game, and the example of that is the self-discovery gameplay that blends properly with the story introduced. As such, Alter Ego really provides us an example for upcoming clicker games that the clicker genre can be uniquely interesting once again, and I'd really love to see more games like this. But for now, we can only appreciate how great the game is on itself. Now that we have reached near the tail end of this video, I would simply love to say that please play this game. Because seriously, this is the kind of game that we do not come across very often. Games like these are a rarity, especially for mobile, for free, and it would be a waste if you would not be able to even try a bit of this. Although it does carry some visual novel elements for the most part, this is still fundamentally a clicker game. You will need to sacrifice your time, tapping and tapping and tapping, in order to get to the good parts in the game. It will definitely be tiring, but will it be worth it? I can assure you it definitely will be. Which is why I made this video, because this is a game that I highly recommend. And most of the people who play this game will say the same too. If you're ever doubting me in this video that maybe I'm just exaggerating things, I'm okay with that. But at least play the game, even for a bit. Because let the truth be told that all that I have said here are pretty much surface level stuff. I would love to tell the best parts of the game, but it would simply be me, spoiling the greatness that you will experience once you play this game. So that's why I'm going to say this again. Please play this game. You will never regret it. So yo, that's all. Glad if you made it through the video and love it if you liked and subscribe. Spread the word about the channel if you'd like to. So I guess bye bye. Hehe.